We all have that dream of going home at the end of the day, eating dinner, doing some self-care and other relaxing things before we go to bed. We want to go relaxed and then go into our dreams again. But that all can only be in our dreams, right? It can't come true. It's just not something we want but can't have, right? Well, the answer is no, and I'm here to show you exactly how you can create an evening routine that will make that dream come true right before you go ahead and close your eyes to dream some more. Let's load in. Hi friends, what's up and welcome to my channel. I'm Iris, and in today's video I want to show you how to create an evening routine and stick to it so that it closes your day in a better note. Before I get started, I wanted to let you know that last week I posted a video talking about how to create a morning routine, so if you would be interested in watching that, go ahead and watch that. It will be linked in the iCard right now, and it will be linked in the description. And now, let's finally get started. First things first, I want you to list out whatever it is that you want to get done in your evening routine right before you go to bed. I already talked about that in the morning routine video, but I'm going to repeat myself here in case you didn't watch that. This is so that you know exactly what needs to get done. And I will already tell you, go ahead and try to not add the things that you think would be very fun to do sometimes, because you can do them sometimes, but they won't be included as part of the routine, because in one of the next steps we will remove them. So take a couple of seconds, pause the video before you come back, and write your list down, whether it's on a notebook, whether it's on your phone notes, or whatever. Somewhere, just have it written down. Now that you have got your list, and if you still don't, pause the video and come back, I want you to think, is every single item on the list, go one by one, is the item necessary for the routine? Is it something you could do but don't have to? Or is it something you should do, which means it is going to be a part of your routine? Whatever it is that you think you should include as the routine, write down in a new list, okay? Write it down in a new list, open a new page, flip the page that you're writing on, open a new note on your notes app, something, just create a separate list. Whatever you think you could do but isn't going to be really a must, you're removing from the routines list, which means you aren't copying it onto the new page or the new note that you have, okay? That difference really does matter, because then what you could do is technically what you can do when you feel like it during your evening routine, but it isn't something that you have to include, not something that has to be a part of your evening. Then, whatever you should do is what you need to include in your evening routine. It is something that is important for it, and it's going to be a step that you have to take every single evening when you're doing the routine. Take a couple of seconds to do that and come back to the video. Pause it right now if you need time. I'm now realizing my voice is very sore, so excuse that please. But now I want you to think what amount of time each step that you determined as something you should do as a part of your evening routine, how much time each step takes, okay? So say I have my evening skincare routine, I think it takes me 10 minutes because it has 2 more steps than my morning one. Then, okay, I have these 10 minutes. I think I should also add a 5-minute buffer in case I'm very tired, so I'm being very slow. So I would recommend adding like a couple of minutes between 1 and 5 minutes of a buffer to each step, depending on what it is. For example, for skincare, maybe I'll feel like maybe taking a little more time on washing my face. Maybe I'll brush my teeth better. Who knows? So basically that is as for that. I want you to think how long each step takes and add a little buffer if you think it's needed. You have that? Awesome. Now I have another step for you to take. I know that this is getting a little repetitive and a little annoying, but you'll have to deal with it because it is going to be worth it for your amazing evenings, okay? I want you to take the list of times that each step takes that you just created and add it all up, okay? I need you to sum every single length of everything up so that you have a certain amount amount of time, a certain amount of minutes, that is the amount of time the routine should take, plus the couple of minutes of buffer you gave each step. Now to that, I would also recommend adding a 10-minute buffer possibly, because maybe you're extremely tired, and then what you should do is maybe have a 10-minute buffer. Maybe you should have 10 more minutes. Maybe you will feel like eating for a little longer. Maybe you will feel like you want to read for a little longer. That way you aren't consuming the amount of time from your sleep, but rather you're having enough sleep, still the amount of hours you want, but you are taking into consideration the extra few minutes each step might take, and an extra few minutes you might not think something will take, but in a certain evening it will take more. Okay, that is just a buffer that I personally think is very, very important. Now I want to talk, let's go to sleep. Think about when you wake up in the morning. If you have already created your morning routine, you know what that time is. From that time, I want you to go back about 7 to 8 hours, because you want to get as much sleep as possible, which is around 7 to 8 hours, which is healthy for your body. If you can have more, then go ahead, be my guest. But I want you to go back 7 to 8 hours, something like that, however many hours you can, and see what hour you land on. Say I want to wake up at 5 a.m. If I want to have 8 hours of sleep, I need to go to bed at 9, meaning I'll take that. I know that I need to go to bed at 9. I'll have to actually do that, execute that plan in real life. Okay, take a couple of seconds to figure it all out, sum it all up, and go back in time to see when from your wake up time you should go back to have enough sleep, but also have the routine not remove hours of sleep, but rather that you just know how long you need to take into consideration your sleep and when you're going to bed and when you wake up. Okay, now that you have your bedtime, that's absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of you. You have your bedtime, you have your wake up time, you have the amount of hours you sleep, and you have the routine length and steps. That is incredible. Now that you even know when you need to go to bed, you can remove from that. Say I need to go to bed at 9 if I want to wake up at 5. Okay, I go to bed at 9. My routine for the evening takes about an hour and a half, I think. Okay, because I like to read a lot in the evening. So I'm going back another hour and a half. So I have the amount of hours that I'm sleeping, and then I have the amount of time from the time that I need to go to bed, which is when I start the routine. So I go an hour and a half back. From 9 I get to 7:30. Okay, 7:30 p.m. I need to start my. Sometimes I'll even be like, oh, I'm already tired, so I'll even go earlier if I want to, but that's not a must. So you have the amount of time you have for everything. You know exact timings. You need to keep up with that. If something like, I don't know, you come back from work late and you wake up early, then maybe take into consideration having still as many hours of sleep as possible and maybe a shorter routine. But that I personally, luckily, technically, don't have a lot of experience with that, so I unfortunately can't be much of a help here, but hopefully you can figure it out. I told you what I can about that. But now that you have all of this information, I want you to go back to the steps that you picked that you are going to include as a part of something you should do in your routine. Get to think, what is the order that you want to do stuff? Again, I'll repeat, what is the order that you want to organize your routine in? Okay, I want you to think, I want to go to bed at 9. I'm starting at 7:30. In my own case, I probably would prefer to slowly start from the heaviest task, the one that's hardest, to the one that's easiest for me. In my case, I think that would be dinner, because you also don't want to eat too little time before you go to bed, but that's just my case because that is something I consider as a part of my evening. Now, I would also say that I want to start with the heaviest thing and end the routine with the lightest thing, the easiest thing. So for me, even if I just write on my list of things that I want to do, just turn off the light in my room, I am going to do that, and it's the easiest thing I can do before I go to bed. But in the middle, I'll just slowly step down from the difficulty levels of the different things. Okay, that is what I would recommend. And now I want you to think, you have all of your routine, you know what it is. I would recommend keeping it either in a journal, on a list, on a page, on your phone where you wrote it, whatever. You can rewrite it prettier or whatever, just make it something that you will look at, because then when you're starting to do the routine, you will be able to actually look at something, see, oh, I also wanted to do that, cool, and then starting slowly to implement new habits into your life, possibly with your evening and morning routine. And then that is very nice. And another thing, when you write that routine down somewhere, I would also recommend having routines in different levels. So a high level of energy, a middle level of energy, and a low level of energy. So if you had a very tough day, you might want to do the shortest one with the least steps, just the necessary ones. And if you had a very easygoing day, you will take the easiest one. And then if it was in the middle, you'll take the middle, obviously. So that is another recommendation of mine. And now, final thing that I want to tell you, I want you to think honestly, if you get enough hours of sleep, if stuff goes with the morning, if the morning routine that you created or that you're planning to create after this video are going together with this evening routine, because it's very important. You don't want to exhaust yourself just doing these routines which are supposed to wake you up and chill you, okay? So really think if it all works together, and yeah, I trust you with that. Now, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and if you made it all the way here, I want you to write when you're going ahead and needing to start your routine, okay? Maybe it's a routine of 2.5, 3 hours, who knows? But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I know this video was a lot, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!